Our presentation today, we will present to you in the next 1 hour very innovative and rare fibers from Mongolia, which are not cashmere as one could expect, but we are talking about yak and baby camel hair from Mongolia. So my name is Karl Krug. I'm from the Trump project of the European Union, which is supporting the cluster group of companies which produce the yak and baby camel products. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit up there. I hope you can see that. So I will talk about our project for support of the yak and baby camel producers in Mongolia. Then we talk about these wonderful new fibers which are new to the international textile and fashion market, yak hair and baby camel hair. Also the value chain of companies and the group which we have established with about 15 companies, and one representative of the companies is here, Mrs. Bayerma from Gurvansoa company. And then last we will talk why someone should buy these wonderful products from Mongolia. So our project supports the cluster since last year. The Trump project stands for Trade-Related Assistance to Mongolia, and it works with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia, with the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, so with the public and the private sector. There is a big issue between EU and Mongolia, that is, there's a huge trade deficit. So Mongolia imports about 350 million worth of euro goods from EU, but exports only 50 million to the European Union. So we have to increase the export of valuable and premium products from Mongolia. So also we need more economic diversification, because Mongolia is totally depending now on the export of mining products, especially to China. So we strengthen public institutions to have better trade policies, and we develop products with high export potential and help them to get better market access. That is also one reason why we are here now on the trade fair, on the apparel sourcing. And later I will talk about more about that. This is really a little bit difficult. So what do we expect from the project? There should be increased export of premium products from Mongolia. So what are these premium products? We focus on garments and textiles from natural fibers. Also, we promote yak leather, natural cosmetics, and sea buckthorn oil. So with the yak leather companies, we will return to Paris, to the leather world in September of this year, and we will have a booth over there, and also show these innovative leather products to the market. And the main message which we have is we will present to you yak hair and baby camel hair as the rarest fibers in the world. The rarest fibers in the world, which are also environment friendly. So let me talk a little bit about the yaks and their yak hair. The yaks, maybe some of you have not seen them before. This is cattle, a variety of cattle. They came from Himalaya and Tibet to Mongolia, and they live in the highest mountains of Mongolia, above 2,000 meters above the sea level. There are 600,000 animals. These animals are very environment friendly because they use only pastures which are not accessible to other livestock. They are perfectly adapted to this very cruel environment, to the extreme cold of maybe 40 to 50 degrees below zero in the winter. Their fibers then therefore give warmth and comfort and are resistant to smells. Yeah? So these animals do not smell if we could go close to them. So, and likewise, the products do not take any odors from the body and don't need regular washing. The hair of these animals is carefully combed by the herders manually, and very soon I will show you how this is done. These big animals give us only 400 grams of their down, their under hair, which we can use for making of products. So you can imagine how many animals must be combed to have 1 ton alone of yarn. So we have, in 1 year, we have only about 100 tons of raw material, which gives us only 30 tons of yarn. So that makes the yak yarn one of the rarest fibers in the world. I said the yaks are combed manually. So this has been done in the past by, like in the cowboy style. So some men had lassos and they catch the animals and tie it down, pull it on the ground, which is a treatment which is not really good for the animal, and it's also dangerous for the herders, because these animals are really wild. And some years ago we have found a new way of combing these animals in a much more safe manner. That is, we construct fences which have corridors, and the animals are driven into the corridors. And then you can see here. Then you can see here how it is very easy through a window on the side to comb the animal without tying it with a lasso or without fixing it. So the animals cannot move inside the corridor, and it's even possible for women, herder women, to comb these animals. Before that was not possible. Only men could do it, and there were not so many men around, so they could not comb many animals. But now this has changed with this new system. So it's easier for the herders, and it's also much less harmful for the animals. The yak hair products, the yak hair comes in 3 natural shades of light brown and a dark brown and a wonderful gray. The gray is the most valuable one because only 5% of the fibers are in gray shade. As I said, these products need less frequent washing, because the fibers do not take the odor of people, and we don't need to wash them, and the products remain in perfect shape for a very long time. There are about 15 companies in Mongolia manufacturing products from yak yarn into knitwear and also woven textiles, and most of these products go to the export. The product range comprises clothing for ladies, gents, and also children, like dresses, cardigans, pullovers, skirts, trousers and sweaters. There are home textiles, very warm plates and blankets, and accessories like scarves and shawls, socks, hats, and gloves. So a large range of products. We come to the second fiber, the camel hair or baby camel hair. So in Mongolia, in the Gobi Desert, we have a special type of camel. They have 2 humps. Yeah, in the Arab countries, we have the one-humped camel or dromedar. And in the Gobi Desert, we have the 2-humped Bactrian camels. They lived there since thousands of years. And the herders use them for many purposes, not only for their hair, but also for transport and their milk and so on. The camels are perfectly adapted to the climate of the Gobi region, which is can be 50 degrees plus in summer and 50 degrees minus in the winter. Yeah? So they cope with a difference in temperature of 100 degrees. They are resilient to the tough environment with their hair tuned to the very cold winters and hot summers. There have been many products from camel hair in the past. In the 60s, it was chic to have a camel coat. But these camel coats were made from the fibers of the adult animals. And people then didn't like those products anymore. So we are not combing adult camels, but the baby camels. Yeah. So these are the 1-year-old foals of the camels. You can see them on the 2 photographs there. They are babies, but they're already about 1.5 meters high, yeah? So quite big babies. And it was found out in 2015 that the underhair of these baby camels has the same quality like coat cashmere. So it has 15 to 16 micron diameter like cashmere, 40 millimeters length, and the coarse hair is only 1% because it is carefully combed. So that was really a big discovery which was not known before in the world of textile. Yeah? So the Mongolians have developed or have found a completely new fiber for the world market of textiles. And later we will talk that this fiber has a very good benefit when we talk about relationship or when we compare it with cashmere, which has some problems now. One baby camel provides only about 1,400 grams of its soft underhair. It is combed manually, also in corridors, without harming the animals. And these corridors were established by our project, and they are increasingly used by the herders. Okay. Here we see the combing of the baby camels in the similar corridors to those of the yaks. They're of course a little bit more narrow because the baby camels are smaller. Also this work can be done by the women easily. So the herder families who are very small can now comb more animals, and that is very good for them to have a higher income. Also, you see here on that slide the certificate of a laboratory, the wool testing laboratory of the University of Science and Technology in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia from 2015, which established for the first time the diameter of baby camel hair of, in this case, 15.5 micron. So that is the diameter of goat cashmere hair. From this baby camel hair, about 10-12 companies make beautiful products. They buy the hair from cooperatives, which have bought the raw material from their members. It was not so easy to wash this hair, but the companies have found the best ways to do that. The hair comes in 3 beautiful beige shades and can also be dyed. We have that here. Oh, wait a minute. Can you help me? Okay. So we have here, from one company, the shades in which they dye the baby camel hair. So, of course, there could be many more shades, but the company has started with those ones. And I also have here an example of such a product. This is a shawl, a scarf from baby camel hair. And can you give it around? So I invite you to touch it and tell me if you feel any difference to a cashmere scarf or not. And here we could start with the scarf from the yak. This is yak. The yak, also very soft. So again, like the yak products, also the baby camel products need less frequent washing compared to, for example, cashmere. Therefore, we have no pilling problem in these products, like we have it sometimes in cashmere. And the products keep their good shape for a long time. We have only about 40 tons of raw baby camel hair per year, and this gives us only 15 tons of yarn per year. So that makes this really the rarest fiber in the world. Yeah. For comparison, Mongolia alone produces 5,000 tons of cashmere. And here we talk about 15 tons of baby camel. So it's really a rarity in the world textile market. Buyers can also benefit from the GSP Plus privilege of Mongolia, which means that buyers from European Union can import the products from Mongolia duty-free, free of any duties. Here's a short overview of the value chain of, from the herders to processors, manufacturers, and then to the market. You can see that the value chain is quite short. So that means that a maximum or optimum share of the profit can be enjoyed by the herders, which provide us with these beautiful fibers. There had been some some agents which were dealing with the fibers, but this role is now taken over by cooperatives, which are owned by the herders. So the optimum benefit from the value chain goes to the nomadic herders, which is very necessary to maintain the livelihood of these herder families and to preserve the culture of nomads in Mongolia. You can imagine how difficult it would be to live as a nomad in the Gobi Desert when your neighbors, when your next neighbors are 50 kilometers away, yeah? And in the winter at 40 degrees minus. Here's an overview of the textile industry of Mongolia. So we have about 15 fully integrated manufacturers who do everything from processing to manufacturing. We have also some specialized washers and dehairing companies. There are about 60 knitting factories and very many small knitting workshops. So these knitters buy their yarns from the larger companies, from the processors, and in general there's a very good cooperation within the sector. The production capacity, you see it there, spinning, for example, 2,500 tons of all yarns. Knitting products, the capacity installed of about 3 million pieces. There are 5,500 people working in those factories. And the sales, as you can see, fibers, raw fibers, washed fibers, is $360 million per year, mainly Kashmir to China. And ready garments is only $45 million US, mainly to European Union, to Japan, to Russia. So this is of course sad, yeah? Because if more garments could be produced in Mongolia, it would create much more employment and value added. But it is a fact that 80% of the Kashmir is exported to China and creates employment there. Okay, now we come to the cluster initiative, and my colleague Bayama from Gurvanzor company, her company is one of the members of the cluster, and I would like to invite her to present the cluster to you. Oh, you have your mic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have Hello.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming today. We from Mongolia, we represent of each of our companies. We have a booth there in J130. We have 5 companies and we are cluster members of the TRAM EU project. So the cluster initiative is the interest group of all stakeholders, the herder cooperatives and processors, manufacturers, governmental and scientific institutions. Since 2018, which is the last year, the Wool and Cashmere Council of Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce, and we work all together for this project. The partners and the members of the cluster work very closely together, and we try and promote this beautiful yarn, very rare yarn, into the international market. And we are very thankful for the project and the member of the clusters. Optimal use of yak and baby camel hair, as in Mongolian, the rarest environmental friendly fibers. We benefit from the USP of being the only country in the world where large numbers of yak and baby camels are produced, combed. The better access of Mongolian yak and baby camel hair products to the international markets are our initiative, and cooperation with EU Trump project. As I said, we promoting the products to the international market, and we're trying to increase the export and the value-added products. We don't want to just sell out the raw materials. We try to develop the products to the finished products, and we try and create more jobs for the Mongolia. And the cluster welcomes business relationship with international buyers, increased in exquisite product from the rare and environmental friendly Mongolian fibers. The partner organization of the cluster, we have 3 different segments. The one is the public segment, and the private, and the science. In the public segment, we have Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Food and Agriculture, and the Light Industry, and National Development Agency, and the European Union project, the Trump project. In the private sector, we have Euro Chamber in Mongolia, Mongolian National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Mongolian Wool and Cashmere Association, nomadic herders families with yak and camel herds, the pasture use group, and the herder cooperatives. In the science sector, we have Mongolian University of Life Science, Mongolian University of Science and Technology, and Mongolian Cashmere and Wool Testing Center. So we are very we have very broad members of the clusters here, the private, public, and science. And my colleague, I think, showed you before, we have some of the member of the companies here, and these are the companies who has sent the products here for the exhibition. The code of ethics of the cluster members. The first, the environment-friendly livestock keeping, and the combing without harm to animals. Direct purchasing of Mongolian fibers from the herder cooperatives. Traceability of the area of origin. It's very important because, especially in the European market, the consumer is very interested in how it's traced or how the origin is made, and obviously the sustainability is very important as well for the brands, and fair price of the supplied fibers for increased income of the herder families. As a cluster member, I think it's very important for us to work together and to create the best quality products and the fiber for the fair price. So we try and promote the products and increase the employment, and as well promote the herders to keep their animals in a fair way and increase their income out of their herding, as I can say, work. You know, they live. The income is fully dependent on the increase of the selling of their fibers. Exquisite products with the highest quality standard for export market, safe and decent working conditions for employees. For example, the Qurunsar company, we have 40 employees and 90% of the employees are women. And we have very good standard for the working condition. Sustainability and fairness and transparency in the entire value chain is very important as well. Fulfilling the responsibilities of as world market leader in the yak and baby camel products is what we are trying to achieve in the future. Thank you.
Okay, we come to the end soon. Yeah, why should buyers buy these wonderful products made from yak and baby camel hair? So we have some, not only one, but we have several unique selling positions here, and they would be important for buyers here in the trade fair to understand why it is a good idea to order these products from Mongolia and to sell them to their clients, to their consumers. So the yak products, they are soft, they're extremely warm, durable, and they come in the three natural colors, or can be also dyed in dark colors. We have some products in black. There could be also products in dark green or in dark blue, yeah, from the natural brown color of the yak. That can be done. The baby camel products are extremely soft. They are warm, and they come in the natural beige shades and can be dyed in various colors, as you have seen. The products are resistant to smells, which demands less washing and keeps them in good shape for a long time. I would like to add that, compare that to cashmere products, which you have washed maybe 10, 15, 20 times. They will not look like on the first day, just as an example. The animals are environment friendly. The yaks use pastures which are not accessible to other livestock, and the camels graze without destruction of the pasture. Why do we say that? Because Kashmir goats, when they eat the plant in the desert, they eat the entire plant, including the root. Maybe they even like the root most. Yeah? So they take out the entire root from the soil, and on that particular spot, no plant will grow for the next years. So the goats are like a vacuum cleaner. So they really clean the desert of anything which could be green. And okay, the desert is huge, yeah? There are thousands of square kilometers, but there are now 45 million goats. And they have taken the pastures to the limit. So we have this environment problem with Kashmir. There's no doubt about it. The yaks and the baby camels are cautiously combed by the herder families without harm to animals. There's no rush to comb these few camels. There are only 500,000 camels. There are 600,000 yaks. It is much easier compared to combing 45 million goats. Yeah? If your families are small, there are only 100,000 herders with herder families. The income of the herder families from yak and baby camel reduces the need for large herds of Kashmir goats and reduces the pressure on the pasture. Yeah? So we provide an alternative income to the herders, so there's no need for them to ever increase the number of goats even further. The yak and baby camel hair products widen the product range of manufacturers and reduce their dependency on Kashmir products. Because we don't know what will be the future of the Kashmir market. And with the yak and baby camel hair products, manufacturers have a plan B. They have other products which they could develop and sell, and probably replace partly the cashmere range of their products. The Mongolian Cluster Initiative ensures a sustainable and transparent value chain with fair conditions for all actors, from the herders, including the herders and the workers in the factories. Now, what is finally the marketing message which we have in a nutshell? The buyers of these products enjoy not only high-quality products, but they also contribute to the existence of yak and camel herds, to the livelihood of nomadic families, and to the integrity of the environment in Mongolia. So these are the selling propositions which we have for buyers who come to the trade fair, and which they could forward to their consumers in shops and so on, or in catalogs. So the cluster has developed such a product catalog, which is available at our stand in Hall 2, stand J130. So if you are interested, you can have a copy of the catalog. And very soon, this entire catalog will be online at the address madeinmongolia.info. In about 1 or 2 weeks, you can see the catalog under that address. Finally, I would like to invite you to the Mongolia Pavilion in the apparel sourcing in Hall 2, stand J130. It's very easy. You just go along this corridor for about 200 meters, then you come to our stand. And you're welcome there, and we can explain you, let's say, the details of the products from about 10 companies. We have products from 10 companies on the stand there. Thank you for your kind attention and for coming here to our presentation. And if you have any questions, we would be happy to answer them. Also, you find here the address and contacts which you can use, and you find it also on the flyer which we have distributed on your seats there. So, if you have questions, we welcome them, and we would be happy to answer them. Anybody?
Hello. I just want to add on top of this, the Mongolia has, we are rich of mineral resources, but the textile industry is the second biggest income of Mongolia, and we are willing to expand international sales and markets as in manufacturers. It will make a big difference on the Mongolian import and as well export, and as well the income of the Mongolian market.
You can continue. Just tell them to have a video.
Yeah. If any questions, we're ready to answer. Maybe you have not related questions about Mongolia. We would welcome you. Any questions?
We know that all the videos we show from Mongolia are also could also increase tourism to Mongolia. Yeah, because we know that if people from Europe see those wonderful landscapes, it tempts us to pack our suitcase tomorrow and to go there. Yeah? So you are all invited to see that beautiful country for yourself, and also to experience the nomads and their animals. And the one connection which we can have is by buying these wonderful products, yeah, from the yak and from the baby camel, and get connected, yeah, to the life, to the culture of the nomads and these beautiful landscapes of Mongolia. So it's so easy, yeah, just to go to the shop and buy the product. And we know that it's a high quality product, and that it helps the herders to survive in this harsh environment. And it's also an environment-friendly product compared to some other fibers, yeah, which have come under criticism. So you are invited for that, and you're also invited to visit us at our stand. Probably not today, or for still there are some minutes, of course, today. And or tomorrow, you're welcome to stand J130 in Hall 2. So the company representatives like Bayern are here, and all the others are ready to welcome you there and to show you their beautiful products. Now you had some time to think about questions. If there are any questions, we would be happy to answer them. Yeah? Yeah?
Hi, hello. Thank you for your presentation. I have a quick question about the pricing. You just talk about the goat cashmere and the yak. You make the difference between both. So what is the difference between the price?
Thank you. That's a very good question. Let's say we can talk about value and price. Yeah. If we talk about value, the value, if you compare it to cashmere, I mean, it's an environment-friendly fiber. It is much more rare than cashmere, so the price should be, let's say, 10 times higher than cashmere products. It should be. That is the value. But the market price is quite different. It's only about 50% of cashmere products, yeah, of comparable cashmere products, the baby camel, even though the quality of the product is the same. It has the same softness and fineness of the fiber and so on. We have the colors, and we have the same shapes and so on. So the price now is only about half of those of cashmere products. And the yak products are even below that. They're about 1/3 or 40% of similar cashmere products. So it is, yeah, this is the benefit or the privilege of pioneer consumers. Yeah? Those who buy these products now first, they have still this privilege. And of course we hope that in the future the price, especially of the baby camel products, will will get equal, yeah, to the price of cashmere, yeah, or even can go beyond the price of cashmere because the fiber is even more rare, yeah. But this depends now on how the market will accept these new products, yeah. But there are really some people who already say that the baby camel can be the new cashmere, yeah. And especially if we would experience more problems with the cashmere market, yeah, with more environment problems and other problems related to animal welfare, as they have been discussed now, yeah. So Mongolia has other products, yeah, which could replace, yeah, or complement, yeah, the cashmere products. And okay, now it's up to the market, to the buyers, to accept this story, yeah, to accept the idea.
All right, thank you. I have another question about it. Now that you convinced me that I have to buy some yak cashmere, where can I buy it? Do you have an online shop or anywhere? Do you have advice on any brand you work with?
Okay, the nearest and the easiest way would be to come to booth number J130 and to order the products, yeah? So that would be the easiest, and then you can, I don't know, maybe you have a shop or you can sell it to your customers, yeah? There will be there will be a shop this year in European Union, in Berlin, in Germany, which will sell these products directly for the first time, directly to the market. And next year we are planning an e-commerce platform in the European Union in all languages, which will be served from Berlin. So the products will be available online, yeah, for the European Union at least. And of course, you can also buy the products when you do your next holiday in Mongolia. Yeah, then you visit the factory shops of the companies, and can get even the products at the factory prices, yeah, and see also the beautiful landscape of Mongolia.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to have one more of your nice questions. You may ask why this gentleman is sitting also here.
Yeah, I was wondering.
He is the pioneer. He was the first here for the presentation. Yeah, so we gave him the privilege to sit in the center.
Good.
Some of the companies sell their products on their website as well. So you can welcome to have a look at the catalog of the cluster catalog, and you have all the details of the companies. And if you contact them by email or if you go on the website, some of the products can be purchased from the website. We ship it out internationally. So please welcome.